Okay, welcome back. Shriram Finance is the next company in focus, and we have the management now joining us. By the way, the stock's done extremely well from being the cheapest large NBFC out there about a year ago. It's kind of moved up, but still not in the expensive zone, or still cheaper as compared to some of the other larger comparable NBFCs. Well, to discuss how's fourth quarter panning out so far, we have Mr. Umesh Revankar, Executive Vice Chairman, Shriram Finance, joining in to take us through the conversation. Mr. Revankar, good morning, sir. Great to have you with us here. Thank you very much for your time. The fourth quarter is usually seasonally pretty strong for Shriram Finance. So could you tell us what are the trends that you've seen so far? Is it going to be as strong as markets are expecting, and just a little bit of color on the business?
Yeah, good morning. The demand is quite good. I should say that it may not be as strong as the previous year fourth quarter, because the election is nearing. There is some tapering of demand, but still it will be largest quarter for us in this financial year. And maybe we'll be still growing our book at around 20% on AUM. So overall scenario is good. The collections are good. So that is one very positive thing. The asset quality will remain very strong.
So this 20% AUM growth, is it for Q4 or is it for full year? Because you did start off by saying that you are seeing some moderation in demand.
It's for full year. It's for full year.
Full year. And what about Q4?
Full year. Year.
Sure. And what about Q4, sir? And is this moderation
there will be little moderation in Q4. Since the elections are announced now, there will be some delay in pickup of especially commercial vehicle related to construction. There will be some postponement and some moderation there. That will have a small dip in the compared to the previous year fourth quarter jump. This year will be little on lower side.
And this will spill over into Q1 also?
Yes, definitely yes. We did gave the guidance in the beginning itself that Q1, because a 2 months long election, will have some impact on the government capex, and therefore the demand could be a little on the lower side, and people will be little careful, and they may not really get into borrowing mode immediately when there is a election result coming, and the entire government machinery would be involved in the electioneering. So definitely there will be less sanctions, less approvals, less disbursals.
Okay, all right. Hi, Mr. Revankar. Good morning and good to see you in. For FY25, then what should we assume? A 15% growth, AUM growth, and also cost of funds for you have been relatively higher. But some part of the street is hoping maybe there could be a rating upgrade that comes about, and they're expecting cost of funds to come down, which will support NIMs. What can you guide us for NIMs? 8.9% I think is what we were working with earlier.
Yes, you're right. The guidance for the next year we have already given. It's 15% AUM, because the first quarter growth will be a little lower, and that may have an impact, because we again in India we do have to wait for a proper monsoon and rains, and then we can predict how the second half would be. The first half will be little on the lower on the growth side. On the funding, borrowing side, we do expect the cost of borrowing to be the same as now. We don't really expect anything beyond what it is now. And if the rainfall predictions are good, and there could be some improvement in the liquidity post the election or new government forming in, there will be a little additional liquidity plus some amount of rate, what called the central government, the central bank coming out with some moderation in the rates. So we do expect that the rates will, we do expect that rates will remain same or will come down to some extent because of additional liquidity and also some rate action. And as far as the margins are concerned, we should be able to maintain the current margin 8.9 going forward.
Got it. You know, the other question I had with you is in terms of paring down of stake in the housing finance subsidiary. I think the street is waiting by for that. If you could tell us what is the timeline that we expect this to be done, and according to you, what should it be valued at?
See, since the process is on, I cannot give you any answer or the numbers. So process is still on. We are yet to finalize and formalize any of the action. So maybe in the first week of April, we should be able to have some visibility, or it could be post our results, because when results are there, we may not be able to come out with the numbers. So it something will happen maybe in a month or two.
So by the first quarter of next fiscal, you're expecting this deal to take place?
Yes.
And your media articles are suggesting that it could be 5,000 to 6,500 crores. Possible?
No, I don't have an answer for that.
Okay, at least we got a timeline.
Okay, Mr. Revankar, by the way, since you mentioned first quarter of 25, there is that rating upgrade also, right? Which perhaps is possible? The next review at least is around that time.
Yeah, now after the full year results, post the merger, we do expect the rating companies to look at us again, and looking at the macro and micro condition, then maybe rating agencies can look at the rating upgrade. We are quite hopeful and optimistic on the same.
Okay. Just one thing, Mr. Revankar, you know, on gold loans, for example, right? There was the recent issue with another NBFC. And on the call, the management of the NBFC essentially explained, could you tell us what is the, according to, you know, the rules as they, I think these are income tax rules rather than specifically what RBI has laid down, you know, handing out cash disbursements only up to a certain amount, I think 25,000 rupees or so, not more than that. How is it, what is, you know, the general understanding was that it's an accepted practice across the industry, so there will be growth curtailment across the board. Could you tell us where do things stand at Shriram Finance?
See, basically, there is a industry practice because, see, what happens is there are a lot of pawnbrokers, the informal segment, which is lending against gold. And basically, the NBFCs and bank both are also lending against the gold. So the practice is, since the average ticket size is around 50,000-60,000, it is normally in cash. And the collections are normally, you know, collected either through digital or cash again. But there is Income Tax Act which has a restriction of cash dealing more than 28,000, and we have represented this to the Income Tax Authority and to RBI both. So this is something which I feel there will be some kind of a guidance that will come very soon, because of the regulator having questioned on this, and we do have to look at it. But at the average ticket size being small, I don't think it is a matter of big concern for us, and we should be able to move on to digital for the entire gold loan quite comfortably, if need to be. So I don't really see big challenge, and temporarily there could be some what I call curtailment on the lending. But once habits are built, then automatically it will go back to the normal.
For you, of course, it is a very small percentage. It is a fast-growing segment. It's a high-margin business, but it's a small percentage of AUM as of now. But
you're right.
You said it's 20. The limit is right now 20,000, sir. You said
20,000 cash transaction.
20,000. And since these are IT rules, But since the industry is, I'm assuming not just you, but others have also made representation to the regulator, is it possible for them to sort of provide a separate sort of dispensation with regards to gold loans, or the broad IT rules will apply? I mean, if it has to be changed, then those rules will have to be amended, just for understanding. And it may not affect you if that 20,000 limit stays and the regulator decides to implement it across the board. Maybe we will see disruption in pure gold finance companies and others who are big in this segment, not you so much.
No, the representation has gone to both the income tax authority and to regulator both. We're just waiting for the clarification. But I really don't think there will be a big curtailment on the gold loan per se. I believe there will be, I think there will be shift in the transaction to a digital mode or to through the bank. So I don't think that's a challenge. See, gold loan is normally done in a very emergency purpose. So you need cash immediately. That's the kind of a requirement. And the pawnbrokers are able to provide that. And even though they are not supposed to do it, but there is a practice. So we have to find out what is good for the customer and for the industry as a whole. So we will work out something, and I think business maybe temporarily it come down, but we should be able to manage it.
Mr. Revankar, thank you very much for joining in. That's Shriram Finance for you, one of the big outperformers of last year, with the stock having rallied close to about 95%. Moving